Alright guys, welcome back. If you've already seen my pros video, you already know that, it was pretty much short and sweet and to the point. Alright, so now this video right here is the cons of driving for Schneider. I've been with Schneider 5 months, and these cons that I'm going to list, it's a lot of them. And I will tell you this, I still like Schneider. I think Schneider's a decent company, or a pretty good company, to be honest with you. A lot of people will tell you that, oh, Schneider is a starter company. The longer I've been here, the more that I understood that, and the more that I agree with that. All right. So one of the first cons, and I did not write this down. I should have. I had been telling myself I was going to write this down, and never got around to it. So one of the first cons I will say is pretty much maybe the truck. You know, when I got this truck, the truck was not cleaned out. I had to go and retrieve this truck from West Memphis, Arkansas. When I got there, the truck wouldn't start, and they were saying the truck just came out of the shop. So when I went and talked to the shop guys, they were saying, oh, well, we don't know how long this truck been sitting here. It could have been sitting here for 2 or 3 months, you know. And this truck is a Kenworth T680 2017 year model. And like I said, I got in the truck, man. It was dirty. It had a funny smell to it. The mattress was old. There was still leftover clothes in here, dirty socks. The little toothpick thing that people use, the dental floss to clean their teeth, was just like all over the floor and on the bed and stuff. Like I said, the truck was dirty. It was not maintained. And like I said, and then the truck, it wouldn't start. So they put me in a hotel. Took them 2 days to get the truck fixed. And then pretty much after that, I went on my first load. And on that first load, I was having problems with the lights on the trailer. So, you know, I was hoping it would have been an easy fix. And long story short, I had a load going back through West Memphis, Arkansas. And I had service come out that night to check on it, and they couldn't get it fixed. So they put it in, they put in some type of note to where the truck needed to be put in the shop. So me trying to be cheap, I swung by the West Memphis, Arkansas OC to try to get a shower in and get some lunch and, you know, keep rolling. Well, when I got in there, they were like, hey, take your truck to the shop. And pretty much, long story short, the truck was in the shop for 6 days. And I got paid breakdown pay of $65 a day for that. And I didn't get paid the first night, because the first night I actually slept in the truck. After that, they put me in a hotel, and it was pretty much, I felt like I was being held hostage. I couldn't leave, as far as, you know, go back to work, because the truck needed to go in the shop. And the truck, it needed a part. So-called, it needed a part that, honestly, once the truck got out of the shop with that part installed, I was still having the same issue. But at that time, I was already irritated. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to put the truck back in the shop. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to run it, you know, because do I want to make, you know, at least $250 a day or $200 a day, or do I want to make $65 a day sitting in a hotel room, you know? So truck, this one wasn't maintained. Other people from my orientation had similar luck to where they got a truck, and it was dirty, it had bad smells in it, it wasn't cleaned out, trash in it, driving like crap. This truck right here has a lot of problems, and I've told them multiple times about this problem, and it hasn't been fixed. I'll put the truck in the shop for home time. I stay home. I can stay out for a week, so I would stay home for 4 to 5 days. The truck goes in the shop for a PM. They don't fix not one thing that's wrong with the truck. You know, the only thing they did fix on the truck was a hubcap came off. They put a new one on there, and I guess they preferred to save fuel than make sure the truck, you know, is driving correctly. When you tell them there's an oil leak, there's suspension parts knocking. I got, you know, 6 bad tires that need to be replaced. The windshield wipers were all worn down. The fifth wheel needed to be greased as far as it can slide, because it wasn't sliding correctly, and none of those issues were addressed. The only thing they did, like I said, was fix the cover. So that right there was a major con for me, and honestly, that goes towards me leaving or leaving Schneider. So another one is this company, they tried to micromanage you, and I don't believe it's the company. I think it's the DTLs. In my opinion, they pretty much, when they know you're an entry-level guy, they want you to come in and kiss their ass, and I was never one of those guys to kiss anybody's ass. You know, the job, I was local for 2 years, so, you know, when I tried to come in as an experienced guy, they wouldn't accept my local experience as experience. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. I came in as an inexperienced driver, and, you know, like I told them, you know, this is not hard, you know. And they try to make it seem like every little thing they want you to call them, and then when you do call them, it's like, oh, I see you, oh, you're calling me about this problem. What did you call me? What do you think I'm doing now? I'm calling you because now it's an issue that needs fixed. You know, if there's no problem, then I can handle it. I mean, you're not gonna hear from me. And so every time there was an issue, it was, did you call me? Did you call me? It's like, well, what do you fuck think I'm doing now? I'm calling you now because now it's an issue that's that is out of my control. You know, so it seems like they didn't really understand that, and shit just got irritating, and it got irritating real fast. The first 3 months, like I said, I didn't really have any problems other than the truck. And then another con may be just a tablet that we use as far as your ELD. You know, I've heard guys complain about this tablet, and I've already logged out of the tablet, and I posted a video why I'm actually leaving Schneider. But I already logged out. But the tablet, in my opinion, is okay. It needs a lot of work. The only good thing I will say about the tablet is that usually when you're going to a shipper, it literally gets you directly to that driveway. So if you put the GPS in on your phone, it'll take you up to like the employee parking or something like that, compared to when you put this in, it'll take you directly to the truck entrance for the most part. I would say 90% of the time, this tablet has took me directly to the truck entrance. And I mean, hey, that's a good thing. But everything else with this tablet is pretty much bad. GPS is garbage as far as this tablet will restart and shut down on you multiple times while you're driving. It'll freeze on you. It's just a number of things to where it's like when you're dealing with electronics, you know, you have issues, and this has issues. So another con, and probably the major con, is with this company being so big, and you know, we don't live in a perfect world. You have people who tend to want to retaliate, and pretty much retaliation is something that's supposed to, I want to say illegal, but I don't want to just start saying shit. That's supposed to be like a non-tolerance thing in any workplace. And once I experienced it for the first time with this company, that's pretty much when I made up my decision that, okay, once I get home, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and start deciding to move on. Another con with this company I will say is, and it goes into retaliation, it's like, you know, you can put anything in on your end as far as the tablet. You put your home time in a certain day, they can change that. You know, and I've experienced it to where I put my home time in for the 2nd, somebody on their end changed it to the 4th. You know, and then it's, oh, we're having issues getting you home. I don't understand why. I stay in a major city. I'm from Houston. You know, there's freight everywhere, and they can do that. Same thing with what was I finna say? Y'all lost track of my mind. But yeah, they can go in the system and change things, man, and have you sitting here looking crazy and lost, and you're sitting here like, well, damn, I know I did this. Especially if you're a person like me who's very, very particular on what you do, you know. And with this company being so big, you know, you try to talk to them and they act like they hear you out and everything, but I mean, reality sets in and you're just like, okay, yeah, you weren't really paying attention, you're just trying to get me off the phone. Another con, and this actually happened to me, if somebody calls in on you, they're going to listen to what that person calls in to say about you, and you will get more than, I would say, a write-up for it. Somebody calls in and said, hey, you were swerving on the highway, you will get a write-up for it. And when I say swerving on the highway, if you're sitting here driving, looking out your window, and let's say there's some debris in the road or fucking animal or anything, you know, and you decide to do a light swerve and somebody behind you thinks you're driving reckless and decide to call that number that's on the back of that trailer, you will get a write-up for it, and they will let you know. From my understanding, they'll let you know, because apparently, so they say, I've had 2 call-ins on me. The first one, there was no write-up because there was no pattern as I was told. So pretty much once they started retaliating against me, now all of a sudden 2 or 3 weeks ago, somebody called in, so now I'm getting a write-up. Yeah, okay, sure. Like I said, those are my main cons with this company. The planners, I don't know what the hell be going on over there, man. They will plan you some crazy shit to where you're like I updated the amount of hours I have to drive, and you literally put me on the load that literally pushing it, you know. Now, I'm one of those drivers, I will run my clock out. When I say I run my clock out, it's been a number of times where I've ended my clock with less than 5 minutes on my 11. I will run this clock down. Like, I trip plan to the T, to where as long as I don't have any traffic incidents, you know, any bad weather, I'm running it. Pretty much it, you know. And I'm one of them persons that once I get my hours back, I will run. But I'm also one of them guys, I will run. If my hours don't end till midnight tonight, I will run up until midnight tonight. That's just how I was running. And I had no problem with it. I've never had a problem get a parking spot. I've never parked on the side of a road, never parked on an entrance ramp. It's always been truck stops or rest areas. Never had a problem. So, I mean, it can be done. You have drivers that, you know, maybe their backing skills aren't the greatest, and they'll tell you, oh, well, I end my clock early so I can make sure I get in the truck stop by 2 or 3 o'clock to get a parking spot. Shit, I was rolling in the truck stops at 10, 11 o'clock at night, you know, and if there was no parking spot, hey, I made my way to a rest area. And, yeah, pretty much, man, those are my main cons for this company. Like I said, for the first couple months, you know, I didn't really need to call them for anything, you know, and once I pretty much learned the system and everything, because even in orientation, the orientation is only 3 weeks long. It's real fast paced. So depending on the type of person you are, if you catch on fast, that orientation, I mean, it's a breeze. But if you're a slow learner, maybe a little older, up in age, you know, you may need somebody to like take your time with you. That might be a con for you. You know, I mean, it's fast paced. You know, another con I would probably say is that, you know, you're out here in the real world, and when you call in of an issue, they act like everything is perfect out here. You know, they act like you don't run through bad weather, and that you don't run through accidents and stuff, man, and road closures. I've came into all of those, and that's literally the only time I've ever called in. And when you give me a pre-assignment that's, you know, a 3-day run, and I literally only have enough time to get it there for a live unload, and I have it scheduled out to the T, you know, meaning nothing goes wrong, and then something goes wrong, then I call in, oh, well, why didn't you call me before you took the trip? Well, everything was in line and planned to go good before the freeway was shut down for fucking 5 hours, you know, stuff like that. And you have some of these details, man, which is also another con. A lot of them have never driven a truck. Some of them have. My particular detail said he has. I don't know. I mean, you can only believe what somebody sit there and tell you. And, you know, I used to sit there and think like, damn, you say you've driven a truck, but when I tell you this stuff, it's always something. You talk like you've never driven a truck, in my opinion. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right there, as this video's already gotten long. Those are my cons for driving with Schneider. These stuff I've experienced is OTR. I've never been on the regional. I know they have dedicated accounts. I wasn't interested in that. My main goal was to try to get out here and try to get 6 months experience OTR, and then go somewhere else where I knew they would pay me a salary, or what's the correct phrase for that, where they'll pay me a guaranteed pay is what I was looking for. So like I said, I've been here 5 months, and those are my cons. So you guys stay tuned for the next video, because the next one, it might be good.